Hey everyone, welcome to episode 14 of A Drop of Sunshine. I'm Daphne DeLorne, and today we're talking about the difference between being inspired versus being driven. Purpose exists in everything and everyone. If you're listening to this right now, you're gifted with a beating heart and a very particular purpose. We were all created uniquely with gifts and talents no one else on this earth has, and one of the biggest tragedies is passing through this life without meaning or purpose. Most of us are influenced by family, friends, or other relationships on what we're supposed to do with our life or who we're supposed to be. This affects our careers, hobbies, and relationships. I don't have all the answers, but my mission is to help bring you truth and closer to your purpose, one drop at a time. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 14 of A Drop of Sunshine. I'm Daphne DeLorne and co-host Nash next to me. If you don't know, he's my dog, but basically like my firstborn son. All right, what are we talking about today? We are talking about the difference between being driven versus being inspired. Everybody has those moments in life where they feel inspired, ready to go, but then what happens after a couple of days? All of a sudden, you don't feel motivated and you just kind of drop it and never really fully focus on it to reach that goal or vision. Why does that happen? And so I want to talk about how powerful being driven is versus inspired, because inspiration really cannot last. In fact, honestly, I don't think any feeling can truly last, which is a good thing for many sad and depressed feelings. But when we're talking about inspiration, maybe you hear an awesome podcast or an awesome sermon and it's so good, but then like what happens after a day or two where like you just forget about it and it rolls off and you just go about your day, right? You know what I'm talking about? So I think it's really powerful to understand being driven is something that is sustainable. When you're driven, you have tunnel vision, and there's something on the other side of this tunnel that has got you lit up, fired up. You just cannot wait to conquer and get after that thing on the other side. And you will push through the mud. Because here's the thing, when you're inspired, that's beautiful, that's great. It can last for 5 minutes. You're not willing to go through the mud, to get up after each failure, to gain the sense of resilience. The moment you fail, the moment you fall, it's not worth it anymore, right? So I'm gonna ask you a question right now. What drives you? Is it money? Is it status? Is it fame? Is it approval? Is it approval of your family? Approval of how people are going to think of you if you had this high-end job that you really are not fulfilled by? That's never going to fulfill you, because the thing that drives you is so much more meaningful. It's so much more fulfilling than every single thing the society drills into your brain. Society, from commercials to movies to social media to Instagram to Facebook, it's all about money. It's all about your looks. It's all about fame. It's all about your job and how people, what's the first thing people ask you? What do you do? And it's almost like that's your identity. That's who you are. It's your career, right? So I'm going to challenge you to do a heart check to really see what you're driven by, because this will really elevate your life if you can nail this thing down and make changes where you feel there needs to be changes. See, when you're driven, you're hungry, and it's this consistency that you continue no matter what. You fall, you get up, you keep going. You fall, you get up, you keep going. But when you're inspired, when you fall, it's not like that. It's not this lasting, consistent thing. And consistency is so much more effective than this like crash course. Think about it. If you work out for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day for 1 week, you're going to do worse effects on yourself than to begin with. But if you go to the gym 30 minutes a day, maybe 3 times a week on a consistent basis, you're going to reap so much health benefit from that. Not only physical to mental to emotional, hormonal. That is a sustainable, doable thing. But society teaches us right now, I got to have it right now. And nobody's willing to put into the work into something that truly matters. So when you're driven, you push through the mud. You have goggles, this tunnel vision that will help you get through the mess. Nobody likes mess. Nobody likes failure. It's so rare to see somebody go through multiple failures, but keep going. But if you really look at the successful people, they went through so many failures to get to where they are now. But we don't look at those failures. We just see the end product. But I encourage you to not think like that and to do your own self-analysis of where you are. It doesn't matter how many times you fall, how many obstacles are thrown your way. People are going to try and talk you out of it, discourage you, or maybe they believe in you, which is great. But your drive is not dependent on the supporters, the naysayers, the people who give you permission or not. When you're driven, it comes from within. You know what I'm talking about? Like that drive, you just gotta have it. You're unshakable. And I'm going to give you a secret here. When you are in sync with who God created you to be, and when you're in sync with your purpose, that's what drives you. That is what makes you feel alive. So what makes you feel alive? What makes you feel alive? If you close your eyes and picture that thing that you, not a hobby, not, something that lights you up that you would do for free because it is so fulfilling. That's powerful. You were created to have those feelings and that aliveness because you're supposed to be in sync with whatever that thing is. So I made an Instagram post the other day, and I was talking about how we're surrounded by so much noise just drilling into our brain, this hustle life. And honestly, I think a lot of this crazy hustle life is a distraction, and it makes up for insecurities. It serves as like a medication to help us find value and identity on these things of money, fame, status, and looks, right? So I'm going to ask you, what if you hustled and you got the thing that you just blood, sweat, and tears? You woke up at 4 a.m., you did the thing, and you made it. Finally, after all of this failure, we're talking about being driven. You can also be driven by the wrong things, which could be this money, fame, status thing we're talking about right now. So let's say you get there, which many people do, and they get there and they're unfulfilled. They get $1 million, but they're still missing something. Why? Why is that? They woke up at 4 a.m. They did the thing. They hustled. They made it big. $1 million. Status, fame, beauty, everything. They have it all. But why are they not fulfilled? One, because they're not in sync with truly who they were created to be, and they allow these distractions to derail them from their purpose. But I'm going to encourage you right now, because this is going to happen. Maybe in 70 years, maybe in 80, maybe tomorrow. One heartbeat and it's over. One accident from somebody else's carelessness can cost you your life in one moment. So you made $1 million, you got the status, you got the 1 million followers, you got the fame, but one heartbeat and it's gone. It's all gone, every single penny. So my question to you, what are you focusing on as your heart beats and your ears listen to me talking right now? So after this podcast, or maybe even right now, just pause it and check your heart. Like, do a check. I think it's so important to do a check to see, where am I right now and what am I focusing my time and my life on? Because you can never gain time back. Yeah, you can gain money back. You can gain all these things back. But time is something, once it's gone, you can never get it back. So I'm here to challenge you to live a life that matters. A purpose-driven life. You are significant. And that's the worst lie you can ever tell yourself, is that your life is not significant. Because when you listen to these thoughts of fear and defeat and thoughts that you're not good enough, or this person is successful and they were born to do that, the very thing you're doing is you're taking away from what the world needs from you. Become self-centered. The world needs you to be in sync with your purpose. It's not about you, but everything in society tells you it's about you. I'm here to tell you and wake you up, your time on this earth is a test. So are you passing that test, or are you living a self-centered life, not being grateful for what you have? Do you look for what you don't have, or do you look for what you have? Yesterday I was going on a run and I just like, I feel crazy sometimes. I was just running and I just started counting my blessings, like breathing in this beautiful air, looking at the sun, looking at the blue sky, and just looking at the green trees around me. And I had the ability to run. I was healthy. I was listening to music. I was taking deep breaths, and I just started listing every single thing I was grateful for. And it changed my persona. It changed my mindset. There's something so powerful about gratitude. You change your whole being. And no matter where you are, you get into this elevated state of life. And people think it's cheesy or cliche to sit down with a notebook and a pen and write down what you're thankful for. Maybe you don't sit down with a pen and a notebook, but maybe you like intentionally with your mind really go to that place and meditate on what all you have to be grateful for. And in every single moment, Josh and I were talking about this on our way to church yesterday. I'm like, every single moment is a gift. And we're alive right now in this season as a gift. So what am I doing with that? I have one life. And so if you find yourself counting down or living a majority of your life complaining or finding the negatives in every situation, just do a self-check. Check your heart. It's so easy to fall into that. Heck, I've fallen into it before in my past. When I used to work crazy hours, waking up at 12 a.m., when you don't sleep, your brain, it becomes like jello. And there is actual chemicals that you become moody and you become unhappy. And so that's why it's so important to conquer your health and do everything you can to get yourself healthy. Because when you eat right and you drink water and you exercise, you have the energy to give to the world and be in sync with your purpose to another level. Because if you're tired, you're not good for anything. If you're staying up late and trying to do this hustle life, it actually works against you. Sleep is so important. It's so important. Like even 8 to 9 hours. You're not lazy if you sleep 9 hours a day. Okay, I know some of us don't have time. We have kids, whatever. But if you have moments to just sleep, that's even more beneficial than working or emailing or doing the thing, because you have this energy and you get excited and you do whatever you do to a whole different level of energy, and people can actually feel that from you. And you want to do things not half, I don't want to say the word, not half, what is it? Not half, I can't say the word on this podcast out loud. You don't want to give half your effort, okay? You want to give your full effort at all times. So if that means cutting back on the hustle life a little bit, I totally think that's worth it. So here goes my challenge for you to get in a quiet place by yourself and just check your heart and check where you are. Are you driven or are you inspired? And what is the very thing that drives you? Because when you focus on that, even in the midst of failure, even in the midst of mud, whatever that looks like, those low or high seasons, it doesn't matter because you love this thing so much and you're driven and you feel alive doing this thing. And there's nothing more fulfilling than doing something with this feeling of aliveness. And that's who you were created to be. You're actually created to live life abundantly, and life is working for you if you allow it. If you look for negative, you're going to find the negative. If you look for what's not working in a situation, you're going to find it. But if you look for what is working and what you can learn from it and how you can grow and how you can get up and bounce back and allow your mind to focus on that driven, whatever that is, to get through the mud. And that's honestly how I got my meteorology degree. It was an 80% fail rate degree. And not only was it an 80% fail rate for people that were good at math, my worst subject growing up was math and science. We had average, below average, above average. I was always below average. And so I cannot tell you how many times I failed, how many no's I got for whether it was internships or whatever it was in those 4 years of my life. It was like one no and one failure after the other. And as soon as I got a no, as soon as I failed, it was one step closer to my yes, because I would close my eyes and visualize the very thing that drove me. Detailed. I'm talking, I felt it, I smelled it, I looked the part, and I already succeeded. When you tell your mind and you go to a place of you already succeeding, it changes how you approach it. And it helps you get up a lot faster because you're driven by this thing and it's worth it. That failure, you learned from it, you grew from it, and it's one step closer to that very thing that you will die to get to. Like, you gotta love it, you gotta want it, you gotta have it. And so when you're driven, that will sustain you through the mud, and that will get you really to where your destination is that you're trying to go. All right, my friends, I hope this podcast episode encouraged you. If it did, will you do me a favor? Will you give me a star, maybe even a review, and take a screenshot of this podcast episode? If you post it on Instagram and tag me, hashtag a drop of sunshine, then I can actually see with my eyes who it's resonating with and just kind of connect with you on a more personal, real level. I have truly enjoyed that through this podcasting experience. Very, very fulfilling on my side, and I hope it is for your side as well. And before I let you go, I received so many of you reached out, whether it was email, Instagram message, even Facebook message, over 100 interested in my 6-week coaching program. So I haven't actually released a date for this because I'm still finishing touches to this program, but it's going to be life-changing. If you like this podcast, you are going to love this. We're going to be on the phone every single week together, and I kind of meet you where you are, and we just tap in. And I'm really excited about this, building this community, private Facebook page. Of course, when you join the program, you're also a part of this community, and I think community is so important to have a strong community of people just empowering each other. We definitely need more of that in this world. So if you haven't already, it's not too late. Shoot me an email or message me, Facebook, Instagram, Daphne DeLauren. My email is daphne@daphnedeLauren.com. I look forward to getting your email to send you updates on this 6-week program. And a couple more updates. The merch, the pre-sale has officially closed. So A Drop of Sunshine mugs, t-shirts, tank tops. We even got a Drop of Sunshine umbrellas. I mean, come on. So cool. That has closed, but we're going to get up a date real soon to just put an online store where you can order whenever you please. So that hasn't happened yet. Stay tuned for that. And last but not least, I am now booking speaking inquiries. So my calendar is starting to fill up. If you know or have an event or a conference that you think A Drop of Sunshine would be a good fit for, you can also shoot me an email. I would love to learn more detail about the event and see if we can work together. All right, guys, wishing you a wonderful day and a wonderful week. All right, if you're still listening, I have quite a treat for you. This is a song my husband, Josh, he wrote with country music artist Russell Dickerson, and the song is called Lonely to Me. Take it away, honey.
Called me up just the other night. I could hear those tears falling on the other side. Said you wanna talk, had second thoughts about you and me and moving on. I guess that's why I'm so surprised. You don't look lonely to me, 'cause he just bought you a drink. Got your hand in his hand and he's spinning you out on the dance floor. You're leaning in for a kiss, but you're the one said you miss me. But you don't look lonely to me. I guess I'd say I'm a little confused by the way you talked, had me wanted to, but here you are in his arms, breaking my broken heart all over again. You don't look lonely to me, 'cause he just bought you a drink. Got your hand in his hand and he's spinning you out on the dance floor. You're leaning in for a kiss, but you're the one said you miss me. But you don't look lonely to me. I thought about walking up, saying, hey, thought you wanted us, 'cause I must have twisted the truth. Girl, just looking at you. You don't look lonely to me. Looks like you got all you need. Got your hand in his hand and he's leading you out the front door. You're leaning in for a kiss, but you're the one that said that you miss me. But you don't